Hello everybody, my name is Tolan Kister. I am an educator in Hudson River Park's River Project, and today we are going to show you all about our Fish Ecology Survey. The Fish Ecology Survey is one of several ongoing research projects happening in Hudson River Park, and it's a really exciting one because it helps us to learn about local species that are making use of this environment. You'll see exactly how our Fish Ecology Survey works in just a second when Olivia shows us what's going on in the field. But if you're interested in learning more about our Fish Ecology Survey or any other research projects that are happening in Hudson River Park, please visit our website at hudsonriverpark.org. Now, without further ado, let's go to Olivia in the field and see exactly how we conduct our Fish Ecology Survey every single week.
Hi everyone, welcome to Hudson River Park. My name is Olivia. Right now we're standing on the south side of Pier 40 and we're about to check some of our Fish Ecology Survey collection gear. This fish survey has been going on for over 30 years in Hudson River Park. It's the longest running Fish Ecology Survey in Manhattan. So yeah, we monitor these traps a few times a week, all year round, winter, summer, what have you, to see what kind of wildlife is entering and exiting our estuary. So I'm going to put on my glove here and we're going to try to pull up some traps and see what we got today. So slippery! This guy might be dead. Crab, are we holding on or are we dead? We're holding on. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this to the side for a moment. So right now I have one of our crab pots up here. I see that there's a blue crab in there, but we're gonna take a look at our oyster toadfish first. I am looking around to make sure we don't have any seahorses wrapped onto any of the mesh. And we look like we're good. So I'm gonna put this aside and grab onto our measure board over here. So, in our data collection, we always want to make sure our measure board is wet. We're using wet hands to handle our animals. Let's grab this guy. Okay. So this is an oyster toadfish. It's got really powerful jaws, so I'm trying to be careful not to get chomped. They are called oyster toadfish because their jaws are so strong that they are able to actually chew through shells as hard as oyster shells. It is 24 centimeters long, which is something we will record in our data sheet. These guys also will sometimes croak like a toad on land. You can't really hear it through the camera, but I can definitely feel it's vibrating as if it's croaking, which is kind of interesting. This is kind of a display of aggression, pretty much. It's not very happy right now, so I'm going to toss this guy back in the water. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Very common in the estuary all year round. Okay, 24 centimeters. I'm going to let it go. Bye! Next, we have a blue crab. It's holding on pretty tight. So, whoop, here we go. Okay. These blue crabs have very powerful pinchers, their first arms. So, I'm carefully going to get it out here, gently putting some pressure on its back of its carapace so I can grab its front pinchers. I'm not stepping on it very hard. Of course, we don't want to hurt any of our animals. So doing this means that it won't be able to pinch me, which is ideal. We have a male here, which you can see with that kind of elongated triangle looking thing on the belly side of its carapace. A female would have more of a triangle. We measure these point to point on the carapace, that widest part, which is going to be 13 centimeters point to point. And we also measure its claw span. And this guy is 30.5 centimeters claw to claw. 13 pp, 30.5. Oh, see it squirming. Not very happy right now. So I'm going to toss this guy back. Maybe we can take a look at its back. One thing to note about blue crabs is they've got these paddle-like fins on the back of its last pair of legs. They're not really fins, but they act as such so they can swim rather than just walking along the floor of the river. It's pretty cool. Okay, back into the river. And that's it for our second crab pot. Our first one was empty, so we didn't really focus too much on that. Okay, so we just pulled up our third crab pot. I put it back in the water for a moment. It had other blue crabs and another oyster toadfish, but on top of the cage were these 9-spined spider crabs. These are really cute, guys. They have a lot of little bumps and bits of algae growing on them, which is actually something that they do on purpose. They are decorative in their camouflage method, so they'll actually use their front pinchers to grab things and place them on their backs. Sometimes you can see them with little sea squirts on their faces, which is kind of cute. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say about them. We don't actually write down any measurements for them in our survey, but we do make note of their presence, which is cool. See its little swimmers going. This is also a male. Ooh, strong claws, as to be expected. And we've got 14.5 centimeters point to point. And open wide. 32.25 claw to claw. 14 and 32.25. Male again. A little tricky to get all the way over to the end of the board. Relax your legs. Okay. Let's get claw to claw first. 31. 31 and a half. And let's say 14 again, point to point. 14 and 31 and a half. Male. So we just pulled up one of our minnow pots, which is smaller mesh or finer mesh, and it's also a smaller trap overall. We didn't catch any fish inside, but we did get a bunch of juvenile blue crabs. This is kind of a good comparison to the size we saw before in the crab pot. Around this time of year, it's really warm, so we get a lot of these little ones. Underneath, it's a little bit hard to say at this point in its life cycle whether it is male or female, but we will record its measurement point to point, but not claw to claw, because they're very delicate and we don't want to have any crabs releasing their claws on our watch. So this all came up from our second minnow pot. These are mostly mud crabs and very small oyster toadfish. We're going to measure these and take them out of the water for a moment so you can see a little bit better how they compare to our adult oyster toadfish. Ooh, they're fast. Let's see if I can get them. Ooh. Okay, well, I got a mud crab. One of these little guys. These are fairly common in the area. Another thing that we will note down but not collect measurements for. Back into the water. And then let's try to get these toadfish. Oh, they're so fast. Here we go. Okay. So as you can see, it's a fair amount smaller than the previous oyster toadfish we were looking at. I'm going to get this on the measure board. And 6 centimeters, maybe 5.75. Compared to the 23 centimeters we were seeing before, that's quite a difference. Alright, I'm going to toss this back in the water. Oh, so fast. Okay. I know. Ew. Flip over. Okay. 5.5 centimeters. Another oyster toadfish. And then our last one is also 5.5. Oyster toadfish are very hardy. They are able to stay out of the water for a little while without hurting them. But when they are juvenile, we like to move a little quicker so they are less disturbed. Yeah. So that's all of our traps. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn with us. If you have any more questions about what's been going on today, or want to find out more about our fish ecology survey, there's lots of data and information on our website, hudsonriverpark.org, and you can also reach out to us at education@hrpt.ny.gov. Thanks.